you ready?
Agility from the champion. Oh, deep six. That could be a delivered this deep six.
What up, everybody? Happy New Year!
Headphone warning. How we doing? Happy New Year.
This is episode 135. This is the first Raw review show of the year. I am joined by Brandon, aka Bash. Brandon, how you doing today?
We're all right. My Steelers, they decided to not show up yesterday, so it's all right. It's all right.
The Steelers were a no call, no show yesterday.
Yeah, the Chargers were about the same, so I at least was halfway okay with watching them also put up 0 points.
Otherwise, there were some close games
Oh yeah,
throughout the whole weekend. Bills Jaguars was one of the close games that I was intrigued in. What else did we have?
49ers Eagles. 49ers
Yes.
by some miracle with Achilles, with Kittle tearing his Achilles early on, still able to get the win.
I know that Achilles injury too well. Do not expect him to be back until at least midway of the 2026-2027 season.
Well, now they're getting Achilles to about nine months, and that would be the start of the year. So there's a chance that he only misses a couple, but he is also an older player as well. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. This year was riddled with many injuries, especially in the first few weeks of the season. Most of the injuries being the ACL.
Yes.
A number of players tore their ACL this year, and I have a feeling, like, honestly, I question the turf type that the NFL players are playing on.
Yeah, I figured that much, especially with them being in domes now, probably not making it that much better. So, yeah, I feel like I remember as CTE and concussions, they started doing more helmet stuff. They're definitely going to start doing a lot more science on the cleats that they wear. And they're probably going to look towards soccer players and see what they're wearing where they play and kind of try to, I don't know how to, I guess, cross section and make cleats that would work for football as well as soccer does.
Yeah, so there's definitely a lot of opportunity there. These injuries got to stop. This was a big part of literally the first half of the NFL season. Everyone was tearing their ACLs. It's crazy. Never seen anything like it. But anyway, we got some things to talk about. There's been basically a massive shakeup in the landscape of WWE these past couple of days. Starting with Cody Rhodes dropping the title to Drew McIntyre, which was a very, very good championship match. You knew it was going 3 matches, the 3 stages to get to the cage match. I don't know of 3 stages of Hell match that hasn't gone to the 3rd stage. I'm sure it's happened before, but in this case, we had Jacob Fatu show up, and of course, the old hoodie thing, That's why I did it today. Didn't really work out too well with my headphones, but it seems like the hoodie, people wearing a black hood and black mask is the way to go when people make their returns.
Yeah, it's been like that for 20 years, maybe more.
But more frequent lately.
Very true.
And this has been a big MO for Triple H too. Anyhow, we see Jacob Fatu come back, and he interferes in the match, lightly attacking Drew McIntyre, then goes after Cody Rhodes with an even more vengeance and we see um, Drew McIntyre escape the cage. And in the background, you see Cody getting his butt handed to him by Jacob Fatu as Drew McIntyre is escaping. So Drew McIntyre is your world champion. The shocking part of it, the surprising part of it, is that they did this overseas and they did this on SmackDown, which you never really see a big title change happen on Raw or SmackDown, let alone overseas at the same time. So we have Drew McIntyre, new world WWE Undisputed Champion. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it's the right time to do it because doing it on a big stage, I feel like it's better for I don't know how to say, a bigger superstar. Like Drew is working himself into, you know, I mean, obviously now he's the champ, but I was going to say getting back into champ status. So it's going to take him a couple of matches and a couple of wins, and we're getting into WrestleMania season. So give him the belt to lose it at WrestleMania, I think is a smart move versus putting it on him at WrestleMania.
For
So
those of you guys that are watching right now, I want you to type in the comments, who do you think Drew McIntyre is facing at WrestleMania? So, Brandon, your thought really quick. Who do you think Drew McIntyre faces?
I was so like I really had no clue. My best guess is LA Knight. I think it's finally time to give him a chance. So I think LA Knight wins Elimination Chamber, and whoever wins the Royal Rumble takes on CM Punk.
Okay.
So I that was where my initial thought was going. But now I think that maybe we get another 3-time winner. Cody wins at the Royal Rumble and takes Drew on for his belt.
That
So
was
screw a rematch clause. And then Punk can take on anybody that wins the Elimination Chamber, which is perfect.
so. I'm gonna put this in the comments here. Okay, so for those of you watching, I'm gonna leave this question up for a while. Um, anyhow, this is what I got, and I have about 2 or 3 people potentially who will face Drew McIntyre. One of which is right under our nose. They've been planting the seeds all year long, kind of like they were planting the seeds all year long for Cody to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40. They were planting the seeds, and I saw it a year in advance. I was talking about it before anybody else was talking about it. Our podcast was talking about Cody facing Roman Reigns WrestleMania 40 before any other podcast, and that I can guarantee you. So we're going to talk about it here, about who's going to face Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, because it is right under our nose. The story is there under our nose that it could be. No, no, no! Don't you dare! Don't you dare! We're not. It could be. I would say he's number 4, but Sami Zayn.
Okay, fair.
WWE has been planting seeds for Sami Zayn for the whole entire year. Sami Zayn numerous times have been talking about how he's never won a world championship. Numerous times he's mentioned how he's never beaten Drew McIntyre. They've been planting these seeds all year long for a while. Ever since even before WrestleMania 41. We could probably take this back all the way to the first Saturday night's main event in Nassau Coliseum when Drew and Sami had their match, and they were talking about Sami Zayn never beaten Drew. And it's just something that they've kept on planting the seed the whole entire time. So I got one. My first is probably Sami Zayn if I had to choose of where they're going with this. My second choice, who I think could be facing Drew McIntyre, will be Oba Femi.
Wow. that big step
Obafemi.
up.
They could give this guy the Brock Lesnar push. He won Brock Lesnar in 2002, won the King of the Ring, and 2 months later won the Rock. What he beat the Rock at SummerSlam because he was the number one contender. He earned that shot at King of the Ring. He beat the Rock 2 months later, so they could build up Obafemi the moment he gets on the main roster, which we believe is going to be Raw or SmackDown. He could be debuting on Raw or SmackDown very soon, or he could be debuting at the Rumble. He could win the Rumble and choose Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
Now, could they go to Roman Reigns? Yeah, sure. But they have not really. There's no real backstory there right now. I mean, they did cross paths a couple times. Drew McIntyre did get screwed by Roman Reigns' family. Maybe they could make up a story out of thin air how Drew kind of owes it to himself to see if he can beat Roman Reigns. I mean, you could do a story that way, but I feel like if they choose Roman Reigns, which they very well could, I feel like it's a little bit forced. But the having Sami Zayn and having Obafemi as Drew McIntyre's contenders, I feel like it would be a little bit more natural.
Okay, no fair.
And maybe even Jacob Fatu. They for all we know, they could be planning a triple threat between Cody, Jacob Fatu, and Drew McIntyre. So this thing may not be over. I feel like Friday will give us a little bit of a better read as to where Cody's head is at and where they're going to go with the storyline. I would suggest that WWE is probably going to go the routes of having Cody go after Jacob Fatu first.
Makes sense.
And then maybe they can do a three-way, a triple threat. So that's who I got. Like I said, Roman Reigns could be a possibility. If you want two big names on paper, going against each other. But, I feel like it would be a little bit forced too.
Now, does Cody get a rematch?
Well, you know how the IWC makes up things out of thin air and makes up stories and whatever. So the IWC and many Facebook pages have been posting that there's no rematch planned for Cody, which I may tend to believe because, it would make most sense for Cody to go after Jacob Fatu first. So Avi is not a title holder. So a rematch might not be in the cards right now. We'd have to really see how things shake out over the next few weeks between now and Royal Rumble.
Makes sense.
And not to mention, whoever doesn't win the Rumble, there's still a second opportunity to have the Elimination Chamber. Now, as far as the Raw side goes, I would think that Bron Breakerr could win, either Rumble or Chamber and go after CM Punk again. Or maybe Gunther.
Maybe. There's a lot. There's a lot of potential here.
Absolutely. So, and then not to mention, there's been a lot of shakeups with NXT. So we have a lot of new faces on SmackDown and Raw now. Jordan Grace came up. Trick Williams, he got a win on Friday night against Phoenix. So he looks good out there. And he had a confrontation already with Randy Orton, so maybe I would expect to see Randy versus Trick Williams eventually, very soon. You got Obafemi, he's coming up, and a bunch of other call-ups too from NXT, which is pretty much not only shaking up the main roster, but shaking up the NXT roster too, because NXT is basically got to, focus on building some new faces. There's a lot of new opportunities there. A couple of your stars like Blake Monroe, JC Jane, Kalani Jordan, they're going to stay down for a little while to, keep the division building. And, you got Kendall Grace, who's up and coming. For the men, you still got Ricky Saints down there. Um, and you had who's the Italian guy down there in NXT? That's been he was like the Don, so to speak. He was with Stax, the Italian family. I forget his name.
I haven't watched NXT in a while. I'm so sorry, sir.
Yeah, well, he came out and when Obafemi dropped the belts, he left it in the ring, and then you see him looking at the belt. So I mean, there's a couple faces still there, but they got to build up new faces in NXT, and yeah, so pretty much every brand's been shaken up by these call ups. But Obafemi, he's gonna be if they do this right, he's gonna be the big star, and maybe have a championship bout by WrestleMania.
Okay. Is NXT doing anything with the belts yet? Like, did they make a determination?
Yes. So there's going to be qualifying matches starting next week. So I would say about 6 matches. The winners are going to face off in a ladder match, which will take place in the beginning of February. And maybe one of their NXT shows or one of their PLEs.
I would have liked them to add an NXT like 20-man Royal Rumble for the belt. That would have been cool.
That'd be pretty interesting.
And instead of do it like 90 seconds the way that they do in the other ones, do it like every minute instead. So it goes by a little quicker and you get to see more NXT talent in the ring at one time.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Then,
For the ladder matches are fun too.
yeah, and not to mention, you're gonna have the women. The women had a segment where they're all vying for a shot at JC Jane. So we'll see how that shakes out. I only watched like the first half of it tonight,
Okay.
so I'm gonna watch the rest of it. But pretty decent show. But Brandon, on to our Raw review. But for those of you guys that are watching, be sure to check out backsportspage.com. If you do not have the website, I will put it there for you. Backsportspage.com. Check them out. You also got rewind. Back Sports Page Wrestling, which we are part of, along with the Cut Pro Wrestling Podcast and a couple new pro wrestling podcasts that are going to be debuting soon on our backsportspage.com. Check out wrestling interviews, and there's also sports too as well. Catch interviews with wrestlers. They are a big fan of the New York Giants, so they have the Big Blue podcast, so check them out. We are sponsored by them. Backsportspage.com for all your wrestling needs. Moving on. Monday Night Raw in Germany started at 2 p.m. And I guess maybe we can call it in the United States Monday Morning Raw. Maybe in New York on the East Coast, it started at 2. Maybe you can call it Monday Tea Time Raw. Scones, anybody? Scones and tea, anybody?
No, it'd have to be Monday afternoon Raw because in England where they have tea time, it would have been dinner for them. So it would have actually been Monday Night Raw for them for once in their life. They always clamor about having to stay awake late to watch shows. So there you go. You now got a 7 p.m. Raw.
Yeah, God bless them. They got a 8 p.m. Raw. It would have been 7 p.m. there. Yep, for England. Yep, you got that right. 5 hours.
I don't know why I know that.
So we had Monday afternoon Raw. If you're on the West Coast, it would be Monday morning Raw. Imagine that, watching Monday Night Raw live at 11 a.m.
You got to hope you have a job like me where you get 2 random days off and have to work weekends. Yay, I don't know what a weekend is.
Oh, man. Anyway, not it was live from Germany. Not a great Raw. I mean, it did what it was supposed to, though. It progressed storyline, so it's like, it
Right.
wasn't like a waste of a Raw or anything, but it just wasn't really. I don't know. It just wasn't a great Raw. Do,
I call these the soap opera Raws where they need to like you said, progress storylines, couple of attacks here and there, couple of like nonsense, just like you said, progress the story, but I like to call it the soap opera of Raw.
Live from Dusseldorf,
Yes.
Germany. So the one thing I like is they are putting more attention on the women's tag titles, and
Mhm.
they're making it feel more important, which is good. Half the tag teams were not there yesterday. Charlotte and Alexa Bliss was not there on the show. Nia Jax and Lash Legend was not there in the show. So you were missing a couple of makeshift tag teams there. But the show starts with Rhea Ripley and Io coming to the ring as women's tag team champions, celebrating. Then we get interference, a disruption rather, by Liv and Roxanne, followed by Bailey and Lyra come out, and they're all just sticking there, trying to state their claim as who's going to be the number one contender. But then we have the Kabuki Warriors come out and physically interfere, taking out Rio at first, and then that leads to a whole, um, brawl in the ring. Um, and that's where we leave off there. So we see a little bit of and then it was later made a match was made for a number one contender match with Kabuki Warriors and who was in that match? Bailey and Lyra Valkyra and versus Liv and Roxanne. So
Mhm.
we get that match a little later, which we'll visit in just one moment. But before that happened, we see a little dissension backstage with Liv and Roxanne confronting Finn Balor, and there's immediate dissension there because you see Liv was like, "Did you see what we're doing back there? Did you see what we did?" And Finn's just is like in his own little world playing video games, and then then we see Alexa Bliss, telling off Finn Balor, "Listen, you're not pulling your weight around here. All you're doing is playing games." And Finn, takes that to heart and later confronts CM Punk in his promo. And we get Punk and Finn Balor talking. And Finn Balor's like, "Well, CM Punk, you mentioned my name months ago that you wanted to face me." And you see them interacting with each other. And basically, they teased that they were going to do a match right then and there in Dusseldorf. But instead, Finn Balor opts to have this match in Belfast, Ireland, which is weird because I don't know if you saw the image for Raw next week, but it has a UK flag. Shouldn't it be an Irish flag? I don't know. But what
I
did you
peeped the
think of all
same
this?
thing. I did see that. I was very confused, and then kept saying hometown, and it's like how far away? He said he was like hours away from Belfast, so it's all good. They're just messing up around everywhere. Well, I don't know. I was gonna make a bad joke and say maybe the UK took over.
So, this would be a little bit more believable to me that after they changed the title with Drew and Cody, that maybe it's possible that Finn can maybe take the belt off of Punk, but it's not believable to me because Punk really hasn't won. Finn Balor hasn't won a match on TV in a long time. Um,
I feel like he
he
hasn't had a match, and maybe that's where they'd be able to
since
pitch like
he hasn't had a one-on-one match since September.
was it?
Since September.
He hasn't won a match since September?
Oh no, he doesn't have a single match.
Oh wow, see? But even then, like he's
But
had
like, what happened? Like, to the point where like, oh, this person gets attacked. oh, they should be number one contender, or like it just seems like number one like championship matches are coming out of thin air. Whatever happened to people getting on the winning streak first and earning the title match before having a title match?
True. Well, I mean, he did say that he got called out, and then he said, "Where have you been the last 2 months?" It's like, well, honestly, I'm in a tag team. I'm in a faction, and I'm worrying about the other guys that I want to grow because I've been here for 10 years. They've been here for 5. So, yeah, I don't know. I understood both gentlemen's points. And yeah, I'd have to look back at Finn Balor's win loss with JD. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So Finn Balor hasn't done a whole lot of much lately, so I have no reason to believe that he's going to defeat Punk for the title for sure. So
Unless the Judgment Day are actually on their gold path, because now you have every single one of them in the picture. Well, not really JD, but he'll figure it out.
yeah, JD's gonna be back soon. Dominic shouldn't be too long either. So I think that everybody be back on the roster by I would say Royal Rumble for sure. If Dominic Mysterio was going to be out for a long time and the WWE knows it, he would have dropped the belts already, which he hasn't. So that leads me to believe his injury is very minor and he won't be out long. So I would think he'll be back by Rumble. But anyway, we have the number one contender match: Kabuki Warriors versus Bailey and Lyra versus Liv and Roxanne. You know, it was a good match here. I wasn't really too heavily invested in it, to be honest, because I feel like we're starting to see the same thing from week to week a little bit. You know, um, not for nothing, but I feel like WWE needs to toss in some enhancement matches. Sprinkled in so that we're not seeing the same people crossing paths every single week. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
also that builds momentum for wrestlers as well. But yeah, we had Kabuki Warriors versus Bailey and Lyra versus Liv and Roxanne. We see Liv hit the Oblivion on Kyrie Sane. Liv gets the win by pinning Kyrie. Liv and Roxanne now get a title shot at Saturday Night's main event against Rhea Ripley and Io, which should be a very, very good match. I don't think Rhea and Io drop it this soon, to be honest. It would feel kind of forced if they drop it this soon to Liv and Roxanne. Um, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
If it's it's tough because, like I said, I feel like it could be Judgment Day takeover, and everyone can have a belt. Screw it, give it to Finn. Obviously, uh, give it to like have Dom have it. Uh, give it to the tag team. Like just have everybody have gold. Screw it.
You really want to shake things up.
I mean, it depends on who's getting cheered because Liv gets cheered, Roxanne gets cheered, Raquel's now get. Oh, I didn't even mention Raquel, who we'll talk about in probably a minute because I think that was the next thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Becky and Maxine, and then Raquel. So, yeah, we'll talk about obviously what she did. So she's trying to get on the belt path. So yeah, it just looks like everybody in Judgment Day wants a belt. Screw it, give it to them.
Speaking of, why don't you take it away with Raquel?
You got it. So Raquel comes out. She's getting booed. Gets her own interview for whatever reason with Jackie, and she says that people change, and you can't feel sorry for Stephanie for what's going on. Not until I have her championship, which was crazy, and then for whatever get it, and then Raquel comes and attacks her again. So I'm just sitting there like, what are you doing? You're never going to be able to face her. She's just going to be broken every time. But yeah, she started attacking the boot, started slamming it on the concrete, no, more the stage. So on the metal stage up there and starts slamming it down. And that's really where it ends. Everyone else comes out and saves Breakerr. But like, why does she keep doing this?
She wants that title shot.
She's gonna get it regardless, but she's only gonna delay the title shot more if she keeps hurting her.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Raquel looks very, very, very good here. I feel like she's poised and ready to go. I'm just not too sure when you pull the trigger, though. You probably consider Saturday night's main event or Royal Rumble. I mean, she's got momentum. I mean, the WWE is behind her, the locker room's behind her. She's definitely improved in the ring. She's definitely, developing her character as time goes on. I'm not sure when you pull the trigger. I'm not too sure if you wait till after Mania. We'll have to see.
Mhm.
We'll have to see. I would imagine that they would like to get to Stephanie versus Rhea Ripley as a potential match. So it's like I feel like Stephanie hasn't had that big match yet. So I feel
Yeah.
like she needs to get. I would like to see her have a big match at WrestleMania. I feel like she deserves it. And then maybe we could discuss something for a possibility of Stephanie versus Raquel. The night after Mania, Monday Night Raw, and maybe do something there. I think that would be appropriate. But that's my opinion.
I think you go Raquel first and then maybe hit Liv right after. Keep it in the Judgment Day, and then
Oh,
maybe
so that's another thing too. And how am I forgetting this? Liv is more than likely going to win the Royal Rumble for the women's side. So
that would be my guess.
yeah,
That could stir up a little something something.
yeah. I mean, that could definitely stir up something like a controversy or some kind of split between Raquel and Liv Morgan for sure. So that's going to be a little interesting there.
We'll keep it in the women real quick. Maxine gets a rematch next week on Raw, I believe. And then she says she had to cheat to beat me, so I'm going to break your ankle. That's Maxine, which you did see was a blatant cheat for Becky Lynch to get the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Use the ropes because what a cheater.
Yeah.
And
Becky is probably going to retain there.
absolutely. And then also Maxine kicked Alpha Academy into gear and said, "Go make something happen." And then Otis a little bit later goes up to Jay and says, "I know we're boys, but I want a shot. I want respect. I want to wrestle."
Jay wasn't taking them as serious as first.
Yes, he was like, "No, we're boys, man. I don't want to fight. Like, let me keep my championship." And Otis is like, "I know we're boys, but like, nah, let's go, homie, all day."
Let me tell you, that match between the Usos versus Otis and Tozawa is gonna be a banger. Come on, as goofy as Tozawa is, we know he can work.
No, he
Like
will
even his
absolutely.
match against, I don't even remember his match against Gunther last year.
He'll
Whew!
be flying across the rings, like he'll be doing some funny stuff. So I could actually see it
Tozawa is
working pretty
such a
well.
good worker. He's such a good worker.
Otis moves like a damn cannonball through the ring, so he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Speaking of a
Um,
cannonball through the ring, lead into Reed and Theory versus Dragon and Penta. Go for it.
yeah. So that was the main event on the show. Um, we had Austin Theory and Bronson Reed versus Penta and Dragon Lee. No, I'm sorry, that was not the main event. Was that the main
Co-main,
event? No, that was not the main event. It's called the main event.
co-main,
Sorry
yes.
about that. Yeah, so there were some big things that happened here, and probably the biggest part of the show that happened, hence the YouTube cover of this show this week. Bron Breakerr gets suspended, but the lead up to that, while Dragon Lee was celebrating just after he did the swanton to the outside onto Logan and Austin, Bron Breakerr comes out of nowhere and spears Dragon Lee, which I think was his best spear yet, and the best camera work of that spear yet that we've seen. Dragon Lee got speared out of his shoes, and also takes, and then after that, Bron Breakker takes out Penta. Um, as we know, in a prior segment earlier in the night, Pierce was told to keep Bron Breakker out if Bron Breakker has bad intentions. Paul Heyman was told that by Pierce, and sure enough, that did not happen. Bron Breakker is spearing everybody, and then you see Pierce get in the ring, get in Bron Breakker's face, grabbing him by the collar, which is very important for what's going to happen moments later. But you see Bron Breakker manhandling Pierce and shoving him into the corner, and then you have the Vision kind of like holding Bron Breakker back. From there, they're all working their way back. Pierce is working his way back, and as they're all headed to the back entrance, Bron Breakker has to be held back, and they get to the backstage area, and Pierce confronts Bron Breakker, basically suspends him. Now, after that, Paul Heyman's like, "You messed up," and then Pierce is wondering why. Like, what are you talking about? You touched Bron Breakker first. So now I have a feeling right now Bron Breakker is suspended. I think the story is going to write itself that next Monday he'll be reinstated based on the fact that Bron Breakker was touched first and provoked to touch Adam Pierce. What do you think? Because I don't think this is going to last long. I think Bron Breakker has to be back by Royal Rumble. So this might be like a 1-2 week suspension. What do you think?
My guess was that from that they'll do a little flipperoo, and then they'll actually end up suspending Adam Pierce, and then somebody else will be able to be a manager for a week. That'd be pretty cool. But then, like, you know how they do the videos first? They're going to have to, like, find some video where, I don't know, where Pierce did hit him, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, it was live. Like Pierce grabbed Bron Breakker by the collar, his jacket, grabbed him first.
Oh, he did get him. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I didn't just remember that from. Oh well. Yeah, maybe Adam Pierce gets suspended.
Yeah, either that could happen, or we're just going to get an automatic reinstatement. And then we finally see Adam Pierce take a spear. I think this is where it's headed.
Yeah, most likely.
I think this is where I think Pierce is going to take a spear through the barricade. So this way Pierce doesn't have to take a significant bump. You know, the barricade has the padding. So I think he goes through the barricade in within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
This is the year that Nick Aldis and Adam Pierce are in the Royal Rumble. We get a double GM Royal Rumble.
Oh my god! Well, Pierce is a little Nick Aldis is a little believable. He's definitely believable for sure. We know he can wrestle, but Pierce, like I don't think he can really take any significant bumps too much. I don't think he can bump around the ring. He could probably take a spot or something, but
Nick Aldis takes RKOs.
Yeah. So that was pretty much that match. One quick note. Javon Evans versus Bravo. Michael Cole says he hears. So this was funny. Michael Cole said he hears that Grande Americano has family in Germany.
Yes. I was dying. I was like, no.
And then Wade Barrett says that's fake news as he's from Mexico.
I was from the Gulf of Mexico / Gulf of America, whatever we're calling it now. And that's what I say at my job. So I love that.
Oh, man. He gets the win. The Americanos attack Javon, but they have him surrounded. And Javon Evans gets a little spot where he jumps over all 3 of them and escapes the Americanos. So I thought that was pretty amusing. That was pretty fun there. So
The 6-7 foot cutter is fantastic. It's the
yeah,
OG Cutter is the name of it, and he has a 6'7" shirt, and I hate that that's a meme now, and it's so stupid. But he isn't. He is definitely jumping about 6 or 7 feet in the air off the rope, so that is definitely a
makes
six
no
seven.
sense. Yeah, yeah, he gets more height than anybody.
Oh, no question.
Um,
Like to go backwards off the ropes like that too is crazy.
yeah, nuts. And we get the main event. We
Respect.
have the main event here. Not a whole lot to talk about here, except for the ending part. But we have AJ Styles versus Gunther. The way they presented it to us, they presented it like as if it was like a title fight. The way they did the presentation
Mhm.
of it. But we had a very good match. It was a banger for sure.
Yeah.
It was back and forth. Gunther doesn't have bad matches. I saw some Facebook posts like, "Who's the most boring wrestler in WWE?" And people were posting Gunther. I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Like Gunther's had the best matches overall out of any WWE superstar on Raw for the last 3 years.
I
Like,
don't think I've,
nah.
I don't think I've seen Gunther have a match less than 10 minutes in his entire WWE career. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, his move set might be a little boring, but even then, the 2 counts are great. The chops are rude. He has good kicks. He throws people across the ring. The sleeper is good. Like, what are you
Yeah, I mean
talking
he,
about?
he has good matches against Tozawa.
Yeah,
Like he makes a Tozawa match a must see. Him and Gunther. Like he doesn't really have a bad match. But anyway, so what we don't see is Gunther is tapping out, right?
yes.
But the referee never saw it, as the referee was on the other side, laying down on the match, checking in on, watching AJ Styles and Gunther closely, see if he was tapping out. And from the referee's point of advantage, um, he did not see Gunther tap out. So AJ gets up, and like I was confused at first because I didn't see it either. It wasn't visible on TV until they showed it on instant replay. But we see AJ Styles get up and be like, "Hey, I won the match!" Like hands up in the air, and Russ like, "What are you talking about?" Like AJ saying that he tapped out on the leg, and the referee didn't see it, and the referee's back was turned at the moment. And then we see Gunther give the low blow to AJ Styles. Then after that, we see Gunther put the power bomb on AJ Styles and get the win. Then we see the instant replay from a different angle showing that Gunther did in fact tap out, but it was out of the referee's vision. They described this, if I'm not mistaken, as the Brazilian tap out, where you tap out with the referee not seeing, but it also fools the competitor, and having a competitor think that the match is over, just to kind of break the hold, and then go from there, let the match continue.
Oh, it
So,
makes sense. You're
yeah.
like, no, I didn't tap out. No, I would never. What do you mean I tapped out?
So I thought it was a good story told like afterwards. I thought they did a good job explaining afterwards like what had happened and why the tap out happened and what have you, and the instant replay. So I thought that was cool. So it had me, but yeah. So we see Gunther rack up another win, and according to Chris Van Vliet posted earlier today that Gunther is undefeated in non-title matches
Mm-hmm.
and only has two losses in title matches when he lost the Intercontinental and lost the world title.
Yeah, so I think he's 32-0 in non-title matches. Now 33-0 tonight after winning, which is BS. And then I think it was like 63 and something in like all time matches.
Yeah,
So
63-2 or something. There's only like two losses or something like that.
crazy. I think he had a couple of like tag matches as well that were counted in there as losses because he was with Imperium for whatever time.
Yeah,
So whatever they lost, I think was like 63 and 6.
yeah. So that's basically your Raw wrap up. It wasn't really a great week. I mean, there was progression, but
Mhm.
nothing too crazy, nothing to really ride home about it. I feel that we're lacking. I don't know. I feel like we're lacking a little star power on Raw, to be honest. And I have a feeling that's probably where Oba Femi is going to land is on Raw. Although I'd like him to go to SmackDown so we can chase Drew McIntyre for the WWE title. Um, but we'll have to see where they go from there. That would probably make the most sense if there's a plan for Oba Femi. I would say it'd make the most sense for him to go to SmackDown. So notice last night on Raw they did talk about where Oba Femi is going to go to either Raw or SmackDown, which tells the viewer we don't know where he's going yet. So it keeps us fans guessing, even though they probably already know where they're gonna place him. When that debut happens, I would think it's probably gonna happen on American soil. I don't. It might happen by uh, probably by Royal Rumble, the latest. If I had to guess, Brandon.
I think that you pull him in as like the number 10 spot at the Rumble. Let him stay there for like 25 minutes, get a few eliminations, and then you can have some big name throw him out so they could start a feud after, or like mid card name.
So there's a rumor going around right now that there's a big match planned for Obafemi and Mania. We just don't know what that is right now. We can only speculate, but we don't really know what that is.
Yeah, I think they also have to see how the crowd reacts to him, which I think he'll
Well, I
probably
mean, we
come up
got the
with.
idea of a crowd reaction comes when
There you go.
Saturday night's main event. He got a pretty good crowd reaction there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he got a huge crowd reaction there. Like his theme song is going viral. Like all the fans are doing this on TikTok. Like
I haven't seen
he
that.
is gone. Yeah, he's gone viral. Like him and how about before we go off the air? What do you think about Kit Wilson's theme song? Did you hear that?
Kit Wilson,
It's almost get out
yo,
of my head.
it's the I'm not kidding when I say it may be the worst WWE song that they have allowed in the new era. I just why why are first off, why is a woman singing? That's the first start of it.
Well, the
Second,
woman sung Shawn Michaels' song.
what?
Yeah, Sensational Sherry sang Shawn Michaels' song before he got it updated.
Oh, yeah, I only know the one that it sounds like him singing.
Yeah, 1992, when Sensational Sherry was with Shawn Michaels, Sherry sang Shawn Michaels' song, same exact song, but it was her voice. And then, like at around the point when Sherry split up and broke up with Shawn Michaels as part of storyline, and which was like around WrestleMania 9, um, that later segue right around there. From then on, Shawn Michaels had his voice singing his theme song instead of Sensational Sherry's.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I
like
have to look
Kit
back and see.
Wilson's song is like it's catchy to me. It won't get out of my head. It's stuck.
I think it's stupid catchy. I don't know. I don't know.
That Opa Femi's song is stuck in my head, and Joe Hendry's too as well.
I'll give you one from my real time. Dee 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 dee
Oh my gosh.
Fandango's song
Oh my
will
gosh.
forever be in my brain. I swear I will be in a nursing home at the age of 90, and that will be what is running through my head as the dementia takes over. It's just dee 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 dee.
And
So yeah. Oh, the Joe
Fan-
Henry one too is funny.
Fandango, that song lived rent free in everybody's heads during WrestleMania 29 era, to the point where you had all of the Izod Center doing the Fandango song the night after WrestleMania, because Fandango got a big win over Chris Jericho at
Yes.
WrestleMania 29. Everybody was doing Fandango. When he came out, if I'm not mistaken, he came out the next night on Raw. The crowd was going wild.
Yep.
I couldn't believe it in New Jersey the night after WrestleMania 29.
Oh my god, I was there. I remember that.
That's
I
what
was like, "Who is this guy?" And he's
Dolph
dancing.
Ziggler.
Chris Jericho's so upset, and I'm like, "Yo, this guy's crazy." I'm like 13 years old, and this is wild.
Dolph Ziggler lost the title that night to no, sorry, Dolph Ziggler won the title, cashing in on Alberto Del Rio at that Raw. So that was a huge
Yes.
Raw. That was a big Raw.
I was not a fan of Alberto whatsoever, so that whole weekend was
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean Alberto, he was. I don't know. I didn't really like him too much, but anyway, that pretty much wraps up our Raw talk. I think we pretty much covered all the WWE happenings as of late. There could be a TNA post show Thursday night. I don't have all the details right now, but those of you guys that are watching, there could be a TNA post show. It would be the first ever TNA post show. As you know, this is the first episode of TNA going on AMC, with WWE NXT superstars crossing over to TNA, with the possibility of a big appearance by AJ Styles this Thursday night. We could be doing a TNA post show. If we do, we will. You know what? We're not even going to keep you informed. We're probably going to come on spontaneously, to be honest with you guys. So for those of you guys that are watching, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get that alert. We did basically our first ever SmackDown post show in a long time. It wasn't really our first ever, but our first in probably like 4 years.
Wow.
Just because with that title change, I had to hop on immediately and talk solo to the fans about what we saw on Friday night. The first ever SmackDown reaction we have done in quite some time. And those of you guys that are watching, we will be soon, tentatively be doing AEW Dynamite coverages once again on a bi-weekly. So a lot of things going on here with the Aftermath Pro Wrestling Podcast. But Brandon, any last minute thoughts about this past week of wrestling? There was so much that went on.
Did you watch the first season of WWE Unreal?
I did.
Okay. What did you think of it?
I think it breaks kayfabe, but I enjoyed it.
Okay. Now, because I saw now the second one is coming out next week, either I believe immediately following Raw, if I'm not mistaken, or like an 8 p.m. drop. So yeah, that's just kind of a note to anybody. I will most likely be watching that this weekend in the midst of also playoff football as well. But yeah, I got to go watch season 1 and then season 2 out on Monday.
Yeah, SmackDown is on at like 2 or 3 o'clock this Friday. I will definitely be logged into my NordVPN so I can watch SmackDown live as it's happening.
Yes.
So when I watched SmackDown, I finished it on Friday after I got out of work. I was done with it by 8 o'clock. I watched some of it at work, some of it when I got home. I was done by 8 o'clock. Same thing, probably this Friday. I'm going to watch some of it at work, and then if I can finish it, great. If not, I'll finish it before SmackDown even airs on TV over here. So thank you, NordVPN. And Raw will be on at 3 o'clock next week. I have no clue what's happening next week, so we're not there yet. But anyway, but be on the lookout for a couple things that might pop up this week. For those of you guys that are watching, Brandon, thank you so much for hopping on. And we will catch you guys very, very soon. We are so close to the Royal Rumble. Saturday night's main event. It is about to heat up, as well as about to heat up on our Aftermath Pro Wrestling podcast. So make sure you guys are staying tuned. Catch you guys later.
Agility from the champion. Team 6! That could be a delivery.